Welcome everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Builds, and today we're dealing with the 1992 GMC Typhoon. Now this has 1,750 horsepower, 1,475 pounds-feet of torque from its 7.4 litre twin turbocharged V8 engine. It now weighs 3,218 pounds, already has its all-wheel drive system, but it now has off-road tyres and off-road suspension to go along with it. And it can only do 3.086 seconds. 0 to 106.124 seconds and going to a top speed of 259 miles an hour. So in essence this is basically the SUV variant of the Syclone, which was a pickup truck. So yeah, this has a bit of extra bodywork, bit of extra glass going on in the rear end, just basically make it a bit more practical with extra seats and a enclosed boot. So that does mean it weighs slightly more than the Syclone at 112 pounds extra. But that's we obviously still have the same power as the Syclone when we upgraded that for the previous episode. So yeah, and the stats on this are still fairly similar. Speed, acceleration, launch and braking are all solid. Off-road capability is good, and the handling is probably as bad as, if not if at least only slightly better than the Syclone. So yeah, going to be interested to see what this car can do in comparison, because like I said, there's only a marginal difference in terms of weight, but there is a difference regardless. Now granted, pickup trucks typically aren't all that great in terms of handling because they have very little weight at the rear, whereas this now has more weight at the rear now. So yeah, that extra weight should be pressing down on those rear tyres a little bit more than whatever weight was at the beginning at the back of the Syclone. So hopefully that means it's more stable and overall easier to drive. Not guarantee obviously, because like I said, the handling is pretty much the same. Basically got the same suspension, same brakes and the like as what the Syclone had, because yeah, like I said, there's only a bodywork modification over the the bodywork is the only difference, should I say. Whoa dear. Well, that's something it still has in common with the Syclone, in the fact that coming off of that bump it likes to roll over. So slow down for that. But yeah, it's only really the bodywork that is different from the Syclone. Everything else is the same, especially in its stock form. And yes, this colour is a stock colour, it's not one that I've just picked out random out of a hat. In fact, I am pretty sure I used this colour in the previous Forza game when we had this car on that one. But yeah, on the whole it does seem a bit easier to drive than the Syclone so far. A little bit of a hectic vehicle to drive, to be honest. A little bit of understeer there. Yeah, I do typically prefer driving the Typhoon over the Syclone, even in stock form. Bigger fan of SUVs and pickup trucks, and yeah, this looks really rather good. And yeah, even though it does have that extra weight, it doesn't feel like a slower car, although the raw numbers would say otherwise. Here and now, it's definitely feeling like a faster car. Despite actually the acceleration times between this and the Syclone being slightly worse because of that extra weight. It's definitely capable of getting up to some high rates of speed when given the opportunity. With the Syclone, it does have some understeer. Come on. was slightly slower, as the Syclone managed 3 minutes 22.762, and this is 3 minutes 23.103. So yeah, not a massive difference by any means, but yeah, for whatever reason, which is most likely the extra weight, it is slightly slower, even though it felt like a better car to drive. It felt more composed, it felt easier to drive, it didn't feel like it was going to fall off the course at any point, or it wasn't seemingly bucking and riding like the Syclone seemed to do at some point. So yeah, either that or I'm misremembering how the Syclone drove, but regardless, this is slightly slower, and therefore it's the third fastest GMC we've had on this series so far, coming behind not just the Syclone but also the Hummer EV, which is still situated in the top 10, but it is quicker than the Jimmy by a massive margin, to be honest. And yeah, which was 3 minutes something or other. I'm struggling to find it. Yeah, 3 minutes 25.247. So we're still more than 2 seconds quicker than that Jimmy, even with this being slightly slower than the Syclone. But we are, like the Syclone, still faster than the Hammerhead Class 1 from Jimco, the Nissan Sentra Nismo, Aston Martin DBX, Toyota Hilux 8038 and the Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro, which again are a few of those are serious off-road competition in terms of other, kind of off-road vehicles. So yeah, still a fairly decent car. Like I said, I do prefer it in its stock form over the Syclone, but here, with the same power, same torque, and on the same course, it is slightly slower. So yeah, if you're looking for a quick off-road vehicle, then the Syclone is perhaps the one to go for, although I personally find this Typhoon to be a lot more predictable in terms of its handling and a lot easier to drive. So yeah, I guess it's apples and oranges in terms of what you want, really, fast or predictable, and yeah, this is the predictable one. Nonetheless, so thank you for watching. You can get this car in the festival place for 20 points, well worth getting, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.